The Boardroom, where ideas come through. The Boardroom, power your idea.
Starting a business is a significant achievement for many entrepreneurs, but maintaining one is a big challenge. And if you are a small business, it's certainly a bigger challenge. Apart from the financial limitations, manpower requirements, and operational difficulties, one of the biggest things you have to confront is competition. The big players in the market with their massive marketing budgets and unmatched purchasing powers makes it hard to compete. As a small business owner, dealing with this is part of your daily troubles. It's a constant battle for customers' patronage. Welcome to the Boardroom. Moses Iheanacho is my name. Please guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the like button and share the video. Don't forget to drop the comment down below. Our subject today is how to win the marketing war. I'll be taking you on a different dimension altogether. I'll be talking about how to win the marketing war by creating similar situations that led to the colonial victory in the American Revolution. I'll be citing those factors that led to the American victory as a case study and remodel them into a marketing environment. And because a lot has been said about winning marketing wars with military strategies, so I am not dwelling on the strategies, but I'll be dwelling on the factors. The factors that led to the American victory over the British. Now, a little background. America gained independence from the British Crown on July 4, 1774. They fought for it. The war lasted over 7 years and they emerged victorious. The war was between the colonial militia members and British troops. The British military was the best in the world. It had conquered much of the world and prevailed in war after war over the past century. The British were well trained and fully equipped. But on the other hand, the colonial troops were mostly inexperienced, unskilled, unprepared, and undisciplined youth. But despite these limitations, the colonies prevailed due to a number of factors. What are those factors that led to the American victory over the British? You will get to know this in this video. Don't forget, at the end of each factor, I will remodel it to suit today's marketing environment. Now, there are many factors, but I'm going to tell you 5 major ones and then relate it to fighting the marketing war. This will help you create a situation or avoid a situation in order to get your desired marketing result. And that is to win the marketing war. Number 1 factor that led to American victory is French involvement. In my opinion, this is the strongest factor that led to the American victory. French provided military and financial assistance that changed the dynamics of the war. But before the French came into the war, the British were able to focus their attention on the rebellion without much fear of others around the world. And without the French, the colonists would certainly have feared much worse against the mighty British Empire. French assistance helped force the British to surrender at Yorktown in Virginia in 1781. This means that America must have formed an alliance with the French. In marketing, such an alliance is called collaborative marketing. Collaborative marketing is the process of bringing like-minded businesses together and align their interests to share resources to increase brand exposure, increase leads, and influence. The success of one brand brings success to its partner brand too. Take for example, 2 different reputable movie companies producing a single movie. I'm talking about the players in the Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, or whatever wood your country calls their movie industry. But the point here is that they jointly produce a movie. Though they are competitors, but collaborating would solidify the quality of the film they produce. Collaborating will build each other's brand. It will cover your weaknesses and develop strengths in the eyes of consumers. And it's one of the most effective ways of building credibility and positioning yourself, especially as a new big company amongst the larger and more successful companies. Another example is when Netflix collaborated with Baskin-Robbins to create a series of limited edition flavors for the Stranger Things franchise. Each brand had a clear and complementary marketing goal for this campaign. Netflix wanted to create awareness and interest in Stranger Things. There are other examples of collaborative marketing, such as Apple and MasterCard, Uber and Spotify, CoverGirl and Lucasfilm, and so on. If you collaborate in this sense, it will worth your effort. Number 2, familiarity with the territory. One of the reasons the British lost the war is not knowing the area well enough to fight. They were well trained and they had all the battlefield experience. But that wasn't enough in an area you knew nothing about. On the other hand, the colonists were fighting in their own backyard. They engaged the British in guerrilla warfare. By the way, the word guerrilla comes from the Spanish meaning little war. The Americans were using small-scale actions against Orthodox military. You would only see the American fighters in ones and small squad initiating hit-and-run attack on the enemy. You would never see them marching out in large numbers. Now, in marketing, your battlefield is your sales territory. A sales territory means a customer group. For instance, children, women, engineers, doctors, Zulu tribes, and so on. Sales territory can also be a geographical area, such as Africa, Johannesburg, Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Egypt, China, or even a small area like Bariga in Nigeria. So in a nutshell, sales territory is the customer group or geographical area for which an individual salesperson or a sales team holds responsibility. Being familiar with your sales territory is as important as winning a marketing war. You have to be familiar with your sales territory in order to have a data-based insight into the territories so that you can understand territory level performance. It will also help you to identify where your strengths and weaknesses lie so that you can make strategic decisions about territory design and distribution. With the knowledge of territory, you'll be able to make strategic targeting, balanced workload, and better customer service. So what I'm saying here is for you to understand your sales territory well enough to win your marketing battle. Number 3, British debt. Before the American Revolution, Britain had acquired a massive debt fighting French and Indian War. It attempted to pay down that debt by taxing the colonies through the Stamp Act. This generated far more resentment than revenue. When hostility first erupted, the Crown did not anticipate that the war would drag on as long as it did, nor cost them so much. The ever-growing expenses of the war piled on top of an already enormous mountain of debt that Britain could no longer afford. And so they underfunded the military and other expenses they needed to take care of. Now, to win a marketing war, you need to lower your marketing debt or you pack up. Marketing debt happens when startup marketing departments are underfunded and understaffed. Marketing debt means that a lot of shortcuts were taken that will eventually undermine the health of the organization. So what I'm trying to say here is for you to make sure you don't owe your staff and ensure they are paid reasonably well. Because when employees are happy, they feel invested in the company's goals and they are more likely to work hard. Number 4, critical distance. Another major factor that helped the Americans win the war was Britain's considerable distance from the colonies. King George was on the other side of the world, 3,000 miles Atlantic Ocean that stretched between the British Isle and the American continent. Distance prevented Britain from effectively managing, supplying, and communicating with its armies. Remember, at the time of the American Revolution, there was no internet, no telephone, not even a telegram. Sending even a simple message from England to North America took several weeks at a minimum, while Washington, his officers, troops, supplies, and reinforcements were all within a few days' travel from one another. Now, let me remodel this into marketing. In those days, distance was a big issue in marketing. Distance marketing is referred to as a digital marketing, which means marketing through an electronic device or the internet. In other words, it's a sales without face-to-face contact between the salesperson and the prospect. And in today's world, I'm not sure any marketer would complain of distance anymore because technology has closed the gap. Technology has turned around the way things are being done. Today, hundreds of thousands of businesses engage in digital marketing as they find it easier and more cost-effective to reach a large number of people. It is now at your beck and call. So increase your customer loyalty with frequent communications and engage them at every buying stage. Number 5, public support. From the part of the world where I came from, we say the voice of the people is the voice of God. And so I want to see public support as a divine arrangement. Public support is a critical factor in bringing about changes in any political situation. Many colonialists, even if they were not fighting, were in support of the cause. The weight of public approval plays a large role in any revolution. The Americans had every reason to fight, and so they already won the public relation war before a single shot was fired. And this is because intellectuals throughout the Europe, including England, felt that the colonists' rebellion was an embodiment of Enlightenment ideals. Public support lends credibility to Americans' cause. The more support they gained, the more they continued to garner. The more their actions seemed not only reasonable, but appropriate. So they enjoyed the sentiment. In marketing, I will call this brand perception. Brand perception is what customers believe your product or service represents, not what you tell them it does. Brand perception comes from customer use, experience, functionality, reputation, and word-of-mouth recommendation. Now, how do you improve your brand perception? I will give you 5 of them. Create online and offline events to create buzz around your brand. Design a highly functional website. Build an engaged social media presence. Welcome customer feedback and act on it. And finally, share customer testimony. If you take into consideration those factors that led to American victory over the British, and you remodel those factors into your own marketing processes, then victory will be yours. So keep fighting. Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting, says Napoleon Hill. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the like button, and share the video. Don't forget to drop your comment down below. Let's interact. Thank you.
The Boardroom, where ideas come through. The Boardroom, power your idea.